man.
And he a Sam nigga.
You can smell it though, like when the catalytic converter's fucked up,
God damn.
it just smells like a fart.
God, they do both of them.
Kill somebody.
All right, we on live, brothers.
Okay.
Paper tags expired. Hey man,
Get him.
they finna.
She got that bleach blonde wig.
Oh gosh. All right, we good to go.
We're gonna scoot down over here, so.
Yeah. Cause you know I gotta get the sign. I gotta get the title in there.
Yeah, John, bro.
You know.
You also got sandwiches. You got fresh bread. What's all right?
All right, shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Akakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. And the title of this lesson is, Through Suffering, We're Drawn Closer to Yahawashi.
Right.
Okay? Because basically, you know, there's a level of camaraderie, you know, that we have, right? And even Paul, he addressed, you know, a lot of brothers as my brothers in bonds, because basically we're in bonds to Yahawashi. Okay, the scriptures talk about how we are bought with a price. All right, and so basically the common denominator, okay, of being in this truth, in this thing of ours, while still being in the world, is gonna be, you're gonna have to suffer, man. Matter of fact, let's start off with 1 Peter 4:14. Real quick.
This is 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 14.
Yeah, 2 Timothy.
It says, if ye be reproached for the name of Hamashiach, happy are ye.
Check that out. So it says, if you be reproached, what is reproach? You got that in a blue letter? It says, if you be reproached for the name of Yahawashi, okay, for the name of the Messiah, which is Yahawashi, happy are ye. Okay, let's get that word reproach real quick.
That word reproach, Strong's G3679, Oniadizo, and it says Strong's definitions to defame.
Ooh, that's it right there. Slandered.
Yeah.
You know, defamed. Are you really willing to be slandered for the name of the Lord?
Right.
Are you really willing to stand against the people that may be slandering your belief for your faith, for what you believe in?
Right.
That's a question that you have to ask yourself, man. Because a lot of people, they're not willing to take it there, man.
Yeah.
Because it requires faith. Okay, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, there's some good stuff on here. It
Right.
says to defame, i.e. rail at, chide, taunt, reproach, revile, upbraid.
Yeah, you getting upbraided, you getting taunted, you know. They laughing at you, mocking at you,
Yeah.
scoffing at you, people, you know, talking all manner of smack, looking for imperfections in your flesh because of what you believe in. You see? Trying to take it personal, you know what I mean? Because when they can't beat you in the doctrine in there, that's when they try to go to the personal shit.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And try to say, look, well, you know, you're in the flesh. Look, you know, look, this is what you're imperfect. That's what the wicked scribes and Pharisees did. You know, they couldn't beat them in the doctrine, so they tried to say, oh, you unclean on the Lord's day. Oh, you doing work on the Lord's day.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you blaspheming, you this and that. But they couldn't really, it's because they wasn't on no level, man.
Yeah.
You see? So really suffering for the sake of Yahawashi, it brings you on a higher level, okay? Because you care less about this world. Is there more?
Yep, there's more going into what you just said. 1 Peter 4 and 14, if you be reproached for the name of Hamashiach, happy are ye, for the spirit of glory and Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi resteth upon you.
See that? See? Because why else would you suffer? Because you want compensation, right?
Right.
Well, guess what? Our compensation on this side is the comforter, man. Quite literally. The spirit of Yahawashi, the spirit of YAHAWASHI Yahawashi is our compensation on this side, you know, and the brotherhood too. You know, which is tied, is unified through that spirit. Okay, that's the common denominator. All right, that's what we all have in common. That was the point. Is there more?
There's a little bit more just to finish out the verse.
Okay.
It says, on their part, he is evil spoken of, but on your part, he is glorified.
Yeah, because the suffering is going to be caused by your family members that don't believe in Yahawashi. All right, they're going to be turning into enemies.
Yep.
They're going to turn into your enemies, your family members. I'm gonna highlight that because that's what can cut the deepest. You know, your son betraying you. You know, you know what I mean. Your daughter, your woman betraying you. You know, like that immediate family. That's what cuts deep.
Yep.
So I'm trying to prepare. You know, for. You know what I mean? We gotta prepare. That's why the scriptures say in 1 Corinthians, let those that have wives be as those that though they had none. Because you gotta be in that war zone mentality. When you go into war, you already know you're gonna be hungry sometimes, uncomfortable. You're gonna be homeless. When you're at war, you're not at the house. You outside in a tent, at best. Sometimes you sleeping exposed to the elements. Okay? So we gotta be in that warlike mentality, so that way, because hey man, we war not against flesh and blood. We constantly at war. We constantly at war, bro. So the concept of suffering, you should be acclimated with that. You should be acquainted with that suffering. Like, yeah, okay, I'm alive. Yeah, I'm going through something. You know, the Lord's dealing with me. You know. That lets you know, okay, you're on the right track. Because remember, Yahawashi said, enter ye in at the straight gate. That's a position of difficulty. So it's gonna be tight. It ain't gonna be smooth sailing. Okay? It ain't gonna be that slip and slide, you know, that you get the water hose, you just slide down that bit.
Nah.
That ain't what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? You got to fight. All right, is there more? That was it. Okay, you got yours.
Con, just to laying back on what the brother's saying ultimately, you know, enduring, you know, because we know it's going to get carnal. Coming into a time where it's going to get carnal, it's going to get physical. And yeah, you have family members that, you know, that are, you can count on it, that are going to turn on you. Different friends and co-workers, your woman. But also keep in mind, man, you may be put in situations, especially the men that are out here doing the work. We got kids, we got children. What if we're put in a situation where one of our children may have to give up the ghost, okay, because of what we're involved in. Okay, that's a huge suffering, man. Yeah. All right, you know, having family members, that's what the brother beautifully brought out. You know what I mean? Be as though if you have not, because being close to, you know, people in the world is going to be one of two things happening. Either they're going to turn on you, or they're going to use them against you, man. So as the priest said, man, ultimately it's a mindset, okay? And this is 2 Timothy 2:10. I'm going to start at 10, but I want to jump down here to the point in 12. It says, therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, okay, that they may also obtain salvation, which is Yahawashi with eternal glory. Okay, enduring all things, what? Endure means what? To make hard. Because this is the times that we're coming into. Jake say all the time, oh, you ain't hard. You finna see what real hard is out here. You niggas claim you hard, okay? When Esau really comes, as we see the sword being sharpened right now, we're gonna see who's hard and who's not. Okay, so it's not talking about a carnal hard. It's talking about physically hard. It's talking about spiritually hard, Salakia. All right, being hard in the spirit, man, being all spirit, but being hard in the sense of enduring whatever you have that you may have to deal with in that day, man.
Yeah, that's really what it is. That's really what it is, being strong-minded.
Yep.
Like Joshua, the first chapter.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying, bro? You gotta like gird up your loins.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Matter of fact, you get that after you get that one.
God.
You get that in Joshua, the first chapter.
God. And here's the point. It says, if we suffer, okay, because that's a guarantee. We suffer now, okay, but we have not resisted on the blood yet. If we suffer, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he will deny us.
Yeah, so it says if we suffer, we're gonna reign with him. You see? That's that brotherhood in bonds, man.
Yeah.
You know, basically like, yo, we went through the same thing. You know what I mean? So Yahawashi gonna vouch for us, man. We went through the same thing that Yahawashi went for, okay? And ultimately for the same cause.
Right.
You know? To be redeemed, you know what I mean? By the Heavenly Father, to obtain everlasting life, right? To follow after righteousness, for the salvation of the elect, man. That's what we doing this for. Okay?
Is
You
that
got
the
that one
third
in
chapter,
Joshua? Joshua chapter 1 in the beginning, I know
Okay.
it mentions it. It could
Okay.
mention it at other times.
Got it.
Yeah, it's like right in the beginning. You know?
Okay. I got it.
Yeah, you got it, bro.
I'll start up at the top. And the heading is the promised land. All right? It says, now after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord, it came to pass that the Lord spake unto Joshua, the son of Nun, Moses minister, saying, Moses, my servant is dead. Now therefore arise and go this Jordan, that thou and all this people unto the land which I do give to them, even to the children of Israel.
Yeah, yeah, because historically, we spent a whole generation in the wilderness.
Yep.
40 years. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know how long is a generation. I'll say a biblical generation, you know, we could say it's 40 years because, I mean, you know, they got like generations like shorter time than that, like 15 years, you know. But that's it, that whole generation, you know what I'm saying, that left out of Egypt, none of them made it. The Lord let them all die off, you know, throughout time, right? So now, it's a new generation of Israelites, okay, that pretty much was basically born in the wilderness, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And or if they wasn't born in the wilderness, they was younger than 20 at the time where they were delivered, you know?
Yeah.
Because once you get to a certain age, you become set in your ways, you know?
Yeah.
And you become responsible for the choices that you make. You know what I mean? So if you start scoffing,
That's not even fucking music, bro. That's just a demonic frequency.
well, you know, we in the spirit right now. So anything that's playing that's not silence is gonna be annoying. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Even if they was playing, you know, Mozart, that might be okay.
Yeah, it might
But
actually be all right.
some other, you know, it's really the
Coltrane.
festive shit. The drums,
Ah, there
something
you
I
go.
learned is the drums is associated with festivity.
That's right, bro.
So anytime you hear drums, any type of drums, it's like an enchantment.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right, bro.
So that's really what it's the bass that we hear. That's the part that we don't fuck with.
God.
Because if it was a flute playing, I wouldn't be complaining.
Right. So some jazz, Coltrane.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I just want to add here because it's 40 years, and it's 40 years is often used in the wilderness, but also it says 7 to 80 years based on Psalms 90, which a typical human lifespan is described. So depending on the time and period, you know, Genesis will be 100 years and so forth. So yeah.
Yeah. But you know, an extended period of time passed, all right, and we're about to enter into the promised land. Go ahead.
It says now, every place, this is Joshua 1 and 3. It says, every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, that I have given unto you, as said unto Moses, from the wilderness, and this Lebanon, even unto the great river, the river Euphrates, and all the land of the Hittites, and unto the great sea, towards going down unto the sun.
Yeah, so the Lord's describing the land that is pertaining to Israel, which is greater than that area that you see on the map.
Right.
It says going all the way to the Euphrates River. That's way out in the east.
Yep.
So you got scoffers that are talking about in the kingdom, man, like dumbass Genesis. Man, if only 1 million people had what did it say, sex for 1,000 years, the earth would be overpopulated by a certain amount of time. Like, you know, that's what they, you know what I mean? That's what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
Like, bro, how low level can you be?
Pretty low level.
You know what I'm saying? you know, people low level, man. You know, you got, matter of fact, you on ChatGPT, ask how many people were living in Jerusalem, were living within the city walls of Jerusalem during the Lord's time. Because Jerusalem is nothing but a mountaintop. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even, it's not a mountain, but it's, you know, on a hill. A city set upon a hill. You know? In that small area, in that small landmass area, bro, you had thousands of people living.
Yep.
You know?
It says, this is a great question. Within the walls of Jerusalem of the Lord, it's not given directly in the Bible, but we can estimate from the history of archaeology.
Yeah.
Josephus, 1st century, yada, 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 70 AD.
What did it say?
It says war, 6,000. Here, estimate 60,000 to 100,000 people lived within the walls.
Bro, you know how many people that is? 60 to 100,000 people living on a mountaintop, bro.
Jeez.
But you're trying to tell me all the way to the land of Euphrates, that's still ain't enough space. Niggas is low level, bro. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's the side.
But I was going to say, even the scriptures even talk about what the Lord said, you know, that's why it's a beautiful point. The Lord's just going to enlarge our land anyway.
Right.
As a matter of fact, if I just grab this, you can speak on it. Isaiah 54:1 in the GNT, make the tents you live in larger, lengthen its ropes and strengthen the pegs. You will extend your boundaries on all sides.
Yeah.
Your people will get back the land that the other nations now occupy.
Because Isaiah was written during the Assyrian takeover. You know what I'm saying? Whereas the Northern Kingdom was basically getting dusted off and taken over, and they was getting their lands taken.
God.
You know what I'm saying?
God.
The Lord was like, nah, the day's gonna come where all the shit that the heathen taken, we're gonna get it back.
Yep.
You know, that day was far off, but now we're approaching that day.
We're in that day.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I know we're kind of getting a little bit off topic.
God, I just wanted to grab
Get
this
the point where the Lord was telling him to strengthen, strengthen himself.
Okay. All right, yeah, this is
verse
9.
9?
Okay, yeah, this is, I'll start at 6. Be strong and of good...
Okay, yeah, that's
Okay.
the one, that's the one.
Okay. Be strong and of good courage, for unto this people shalt thou divide for an inheritance the land which I have swore unto their fathers to give them. Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law which the Moses my servant commanded thee.
Okay, because that's the mindset of endurance.
Yep.
That's what you talking about, you know, being hard. That's the mindset that came, like being strong.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, strong-minded, in unison with the Lord.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
God. And it says, turn not from it to the right hand nor to the left, that thou mayest prosper whithersoever thou goest.
Yeah, so that way, you know, anything that you do, you can't go wrong. You're gonna prosper. Okay? Don't turn away from the commandments of the Lord and you're gonna win. Now, in doing that, there are gonna be some hardships because you got demons. People that got demons on them. You know, and they're gonna that's that test. Okay? You're gonna be tried, man. Okay?
I got the point down at 9.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
It says, have not I commanded thee, be strong and of good courage.
Yeah.
Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed.
Yeah.
For the Lord thy power is with thee whatsoever thou goest.
You see that? Don't be afraid. Don't be dismayed because we know that YAHAWASHI is with us.
Right.
You know what I mean? So guess what? If you ingrain in your brain every minute of the day the concept of the Lord is with you, the Lord YAHAWASHI is with me everywhere and everything I do, everywhere that I go.
Right.
If you ingrain that in your brain, okay, bro, whenever that situation comes up where, okay, your faith is going to be tested, it's going to be second nature, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be second nature. Okay? So, that was it.
Yeah, that was
let's get, what you got?
I got Baruch 4 and 25.
Beautiful.
Yep. This is Baruch chapter 4 and verse 25. It says, my children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from the Most High.
Yeah, you see that? Because Baruch, okay, now we're talking about Baruch now. This is why it's good to know about the history. When Baruch, you know, Baruch was Jeremiah's scribe. So when Baruch was on the scene, basically the Babylonian Empire was already knocking at the door. You know what I'm saying? They might have came in a couple times, matter of fact. And basically, you know, the southern kingdom was on its way out the door. You know, they were about to be taken down.
Yeah.
And those words that Baruch wrote were pretty much words of condemnation of the southern kingdom. And like, yo, hey, like, y'all done, bro.
Pretty much.
You know what I'm saying? All the decades of bullshit has amounted to this. It's time for y'all to pay. There ain't nothing you can do about it. But be strong and be of good courage and endure.
That's it.
Because it's gonna be over eventually. But it just ain't gonna be easy. Right? Let's read that again.
Yeah. This is Baruch chapter 4 and verse 25. It says, "My children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you."
Yeah, it's like okay, like you may have given your son 50 ass whoopings before in the past,
Yeah.
but this time he did something so outlandish, you got to give him the ass whooping of ass whoopings.
Yep.
And it's like, you like, okay, like, look, son, about to whoop your ass like you've never been whooped.
Yep. Yep.
But it's okay, eventually.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're going to heal. It's just going to hurt.
You funny, bro.
And you got to prepare him like, yo, this is about to be like an extra serving of ass whooping that you're about to get. So that way he knows, like, damn, like, all right, my dad still loves me. At least he warned me my ass was about to get tore off the bone.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, there's certain levels. I think people should bring back ass whoopings.
Should never
Kids
have.
don't, yeah, like kids don't get their asses whooped enough. You know what I mean? That's why I'm not trying to have no kids here in Babylon the Great, because you can't even whoop your kid's ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, the kid can go to the teacher and say, "Hey, Shalom, yes, very loud." The kid could go to the teacher and say, "Look," and then now you got CPS knocking at the door.
Yep.
That's some bullshit, bro. I'm not even 30 yet. I remember in certain school systems when I was younger, kids used to get paddled, bro,
Yeah. Yep.
at the school.
Our
Yep.
principal was like that, Mr. Anderson.
See?
He had that wooden paddle in that office. You want to see him, you was getting your ass tore up.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yes.
What? Like, that's, bro. So you know this place is down, bro. This place is downhill, bro.
Yeah.
This place is down in the dumps, like, cook. You can't even, as a parent, you can't, like, basically, like, you can do whatever you do in the house, okay? But if you get caught, they can call CPS on you. A white Edomite bitch can call CPS, because with CPS, it's Child Protection Services, because you whoop your kid's ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we got our asses whooped.
Yeah.
That's why all these other niggas that y'all see acting like thugs, like Trump said.
Yeah,
Them niggas
thugs.
in Baltimore,
And
I mean
thugs.
DC, excuse
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
Same, you know,
Tomato, tomato.
yeah, same backyard, Dallas, Fort
Yeah.
Worth,
Yeah.
DC, Baltimore. But, yeah, exactly. You know, but you know, like, whoever sent that video in the chat earlier with them niggas, you know, outside posted on the block.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And, you know, they was getting arrested.
Yeah.
Yo, kids need that, but you can tell they didn't get their asses whooped. They're like, you know, younger than me. They're like our age or younger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you can tell, you can just tell they didn't get their asses whooped, bro.
Yeah.
I
got something.
But go ahead, y'all got it,
This
bro.
is Proverbs 23 and verse 13 and 14. It says, "Withhold not correction from the child." And when it says correction right there, it's talking about the rod, man.
Yeah, you gotta take that belt off, man. The Lord took his belt off on us.
Yeah.
You see? But Deuteronomy 32, Jeshurun has waxed fat and kicked.
Yep.
You know, when you let a child get too comfortable, they start bucking up.
Yep.
They start acting out. It's like, you know, that's why women are kind of like children, because they the same way. If you don't correct them, if you go too long without checking them,
Yep.
they're just gonna start doing shit until you check them.
Yep. They need to be put under subjection.
A little bit more.
You got it, bro.
It says, "Withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die."
Yeah, you see? That's bro, that's the perfect precept. So Baruch 4. You said if yo, read that again, bro.
Yeah, Proverbs 23 and 13. And when I was a kid, my mom, my parents purposely enrolled me into I want to say it was a charter school that allowed corporal punishment because they knew that I was a stiff-headed ass little nigga, man.
Yeah.
So they enrolled me in there, and I was getting my ass tore the fuck up for a year.
Yeah.
And then after that, she was like, okay, now I can put him in public school. Now he's ready.
See?
You know, and it saved me a lot of hell, you know, being around all them Edomites. But Proverbs 23, 13, and 14, it says, withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die.
See that? Yeah. You know, every time you whip his ass into shape, he gets more, you know. He gets more, okay, yes sir. You know what I mean? You know, that's how it's supposed to be, man.
Right.
So that way when he grow up, he don't become a demon. Right? Is there more?
Yeah, a little bit. It says, thou shalt beat him with the rod, and shalt deliver his soul from hell.
See?
There it is.
You see that? So that's exactly what's happening to us with our spiritual walk. Remember the title of this lesson, bro. The title of this lesson, you know, through suffering, we're drawn closer to YAHAWASHI. Just like through suffering, through getting our ass whooped, we're bonding with our parents. For real. Because guess what? When you grow up, you become appreciative for the chastisement that you receive. Thank you, mom. Thank you, dad, for not allowing me to become a nigger out here. You know what I'm saying? Disrespectful, you know, GMO baby, man. Okay? You know? That's beautiful, bro, with the water. You have something, bro?
Yeah, just this is Hebrews 12. 7 to point is 9. It says, if we endure chastening, YAHAWASHI shall deal with you as with sons.
See that? If you endure chastening, man, again, it's not going to be pleasant.
Right.
Who wants to vouch? Who wants to vouch to say, yeah, I want to get my ass whooped. I want to get my ass whooped. Nobody's gonna go first in the ass whooping, bro. But guess what? Once you get to ass whoop, bro, you locked in now. You like, all right, damn, like, all right, bet.
Yeah.
You know, you in order now. You see? But guess what? That's how you know these women, they don't love their parents, man.
You gotta whoop their ass and keep them in line, bro.
Yeah. If you don't chastise your child, you hate them.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Yep.
You got it, bro.
God. It says, for what son is he whom the father chastises not? But if ye be without chastisement, wherefore all are partakers, then ye are bastards and not sons.
Yeah, you see that? So really, if you don't get like, you know, they got these little badass kids on Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
And you can tell they don't, you know,
Yep.
you know, they didn't have their dad in their life.
Yep.
So you know, Dr. Phil's sitting down, and the mother's she's all distraught. I don't know what's going on with my son.
Yeah.
You know, he's gonna hit puberty soon, and you know, his dad, you know, he left when he was 6 months old, and it's just me and him, and he just can't get himself together. You know?
Yep.
Because he need, you know, women. A lot of women see these times. Back then, women they used to whoop ass too.
Yeah.
But you know, these women now they don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Yep. So, like, if I may add, and that just goes to show you, you know, whose kingdom we're under. Is not Esau known as a bastard?
Right.
All right. So this is the vibration that he pushes. You know, when I was coming up, you know, it says, you know, mid 70s, 80s, bro, you was getting your ass whooped. Now, kids can call the motherfucking child protection on you, and you get thrown in jail.
Yeah.
So if that's not the vibration of Esau either, man. This is what he's pushed out here. Where now kids are now bucking up and they're being defiant and rebellious because that's his spirit that he's pushing out here, man. And that's why these little badass kids are like that, man.
Yep.
They're rebellious.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because like you said, if I may, Esau, he's the epitome of a rebellious child.
Yep.
And he still wants the birthright. He's still upset about that dynamic.
Right.
So like you said, that spirit that he has, like a Sirach 10, that's Sirach 10 all day. You know, as the ruler, so are the officers, bro.
Beautiful, bro.
You know, beautiful down.
A little bit more on here. This last one, it says, furthermore, and just kind of lands, that's what you're saying. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh, which corrected us, and we give them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live?
Come on, bro.
I mean, Lord of fucking bro.
Yeah, bro. But you should embrace it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You should harness that as a kid. You know, hey, bro. I think back to certain ass whoopings that I got 20 years ago.
I remember a couple I had.
You know what I'm saying? And the resolve that you get after you done crying, it's like it's like a enlightenment of understanding. That's how it should be, at least. You know what I mean? Like, because it's like, okay, the pain makes you learn the lesson. You know what I mean? But a lot of people, they've never felt that, bro.
You're right, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right, bro.
So that's why they don't have a relationship with. See, this is why we get copyright infringement. You know, on the video because of shit like this.
He got his daughter sitting there.
I mean, you know,
Huh? She what?
I don't like. This is why we get copyright infringement because, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, I get it, you know. I guess. I mean, you know.
But look, this is like, again, going back to the vibration. I mean, you walk riding around downtown, man, on a motherfucking weekend with your 13-year-old daughter talking about I'm in love with a stripper.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I mean, really, you gotta really look at things with a spiritual eye. That's fucking ridiculous. In a slingshot.
See,
Burning
about
rubber,
to-
man, with your little daughter in there.
About to wreck. About to wreck.
Bro.
About to wreck some
He
shit.
probably only see her every other weekend. That's
Yeah.
why the only little sliver of time his baby mama let him get.
Yeah, and she
that's
glued
what
on the
fuck
phone
he
and she ain't even into it. Bro.
It's like,
I mean, you know,
you got more on that? Or you-
No, that was pretty much it, brother.
Okay, I got something else.
Grab back that Mark 8:8.
But I know you want those precepts. I got those too.
Yeah, no, keep going,
This
brother.
is Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 4 through 6.
Yeah.
And a brother quoted this already. It says, "Ye have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin."
Yep.
You know, and that's really like the rod. The Lord, you know, the Lord been chastening us to a certain extent. But like the brother's saying, man, that rod is actually that belt is actually gonna touch your ass. Like we gonna feel it. The straight gate is gonna be a roller coaster, man.
It's gonna be felt.
In a carnal sense,
Yep.
and in the spiritual sense. But the key is remembering the scriptures that we're bringing out now and embedding them into your psyche, man. Verse 5, it says, and ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children.
Yeah, because sometimes, well, that's why I always think about YAHAWASHI said, when he said, suffer little children to come unto me, for such is the kingdom of heaven. Like, that's multiple, you know what I'm saying, multiple levels of implication. You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to come to your parents and accept your parents' guidance that they give you, man. Okay? Can you read that again?
Yep. Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 5, it says, and ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children.
Yeah. So there's some things that if your parents teach you and you forget to apply it as an adult, that's gonna be cause for dire consequences.
Yep.
All right. You could end up in jail. You could lose your life. You know what I'm saying? You could just end up in a horrendous situation, right?
Yeah.
And then now you become a statistic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Verse 6, it says, or excuse me, halfway through verse 5, it says, my son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him.
See that? See? So you're not supposed to hate your parents for whooping your ass. You're supposed to appreciate it, man. You know what I mean? You're supposed to appreciate it. That's why the scripture says open rebuke is better than secret love.
Man.
Okay, because really open rebuke is love. It's a form of tough love. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, this talking about your brother, you know what I mean? Like, it's better off to say something to your brother if he's doing something that's not right, of course you're gonna rebuke him. Then saying, "Oh man, I love him so much, man. I just can't bring myself to do it." You know, that's a feminine mindset to have.
Right.
That's why women, they don't whoop their children's ass, because they just love their baby so much.
Yeah, right.
They could never, you know what I mean? It just hurts them. It just hurts them so. Which, you know, I mean, it ain't fun to whoop your kid's ass. It ain't like what you wake up in the morning. Well, I ain't gonna lie. If I know a little nigga got it coming, I would imagine I'd be like, yeah, man, that's what your ass get. You know what I mean? No remorse.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like we should be appreciative of the chastisement that we receive, because that lets us know that YAHAWASHI is still dealing with us, as opposed to Psalm 73, right, where it talks about how Asaph was envious of the wicked, because, you know, they was getting away with all the, you know, they was living it up, you know, having, you know, all types of wickedness, but still not getting chastised for it.
Damn.
You know what I mean? And Asaph was like, yo, damn, man. Like, these niggas ain't catching no type of hell. They wicked as hell, but they winning. You know? But the Lord, he's long-suffering, bro. He'll let shit pile up for generations before he lets the incarnation of that dude that was alive 200-300 years ago get all of what he deserves. That's how next level the Lord is, man. So vengeance is of the Lord. You got it?
I got some. I'm going to read the verse again. Hebrews 12:5. It says, "And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him." And I had that word faint in the Greek, Strong's G1590. It's ekleo, and it means basically to loose or to weaken. You know, because basically, like, when you get rebuked, one of your first thoughts is going to be, "Oh, damn, man.
Yeah.
I fucked up. Ah, shit, man. I ain't right." You know what I mean? You have that, Satan will hop on you in that moment to try to weaken your faith. But really, you're supposed to do the opposite, which is tighten up. That's why brothers say tighten up.
Yeah.
You're supposed to tighten up, man.
Not lighten up.
Not lighten up.
Yeah.
You know, it's supposed to make you sharper, not dull. You know. But I just want to get that word. And the point was in verse 6. This is Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 6. It says, "For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth."
See that? So guess what? Well, that's why we bring it out all the time. Sirach chapter 2. Thou comest to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Because you already know what's gonna happen, bro. Just get
Out the cost.
get over yourself, bro.
Yep.
You're not the most high. You're not on point. You know what I'm saying? Like that. You know what I mean?
For real.
You're not above. What's it called? You're not above scrutiny.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This society teaches you to think so highly of yourself. Anytime you can receive any type of criticism, anytime you hear anything that's not resembling of a compliment, you get offended.
Right.
You see? That lets you know you're proud as hell. That's why the Lord is going to get rid of a majority of these people, man. Because they can't take rebuke. You got that's all good.
I got some here.
Go ahead, Op.
This is just laying back on what the priest was talking about and what the priest brought out. Very simple. It says Amos 3:2. It says, "You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all of your iniquities."
Yeah, you see? Like, I don't give a damn about what your classmates was doing at recess.
Yeah.
I'm talking about you. Bro,
Yeah.
I remember it was a nigga, I don't know how I still remember his name. I'm gonna say it. This was in, bro, couldn't have been no higher than 4th grade. No, fuck that. This is in 3rd grade. Julius.
Archives. Is he Jake?
Yeah, of course.
Julius,
What Edomite you know named Julius? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, Julius Caesar, but you know what I mean. Yeah. But yeah, man, a Jake named Julius, bro. He was just a nigga that was just always acting out, bro. But you could, but thinking back on it, you could tell his parents didn't play that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like thinking back on it, like yeah, like you know what I'm saying. I can't remember if it was at one of the schools that you had to wear uniform or not, but you know, like you could tell his parents loved him, bro. Like think, you know, always had a good haircut. Like he wasn't one of them kids that was acting out because he like, what they say, like in not an orphanage, but like you know, like don't live with his parents. Like
he got a bad home situation.
yeah, it wasn't none of that. It wasn't nothing like that.
God.
You know what I'm saying? You know, he was well fed, but you know, he would act out and try to be cute. And you know, so I remember, bro, and I used to think, I'm like, damn, this nigga don't worry about getting in trouble. Bro, I remember, bro, that shit fucked the whole classroom up. I can't remember, it was his mom. Typical, she wasn't that fat, but you know, she had that Big Shirley energy.
Yeah.
But a righteous Big Shirley. Because she came in that motherfucker, bro, in the beginning of the school day. That nigga Julius walked in, his mom walked in right behind, and the whole classroom was shook. We were like, we ain't never seen nothing like it before. To see a parent in the classroom, bro, with the kids during class, that doesn't happen.
That's a very rare thing. Yeah.
So you're like, what the fuck going on? But you knew he was in trouble.
That means all other options. That means the administrator, the principal. That means they like, yo, mom gotta be in trouble.
So no, but it wasn't. She wasn't like, oh, I'm in the back corner watching them. No. She had to have a belt or something. She whooped this nigga's ass in front of the class, bro.
Yeah.
She whooped this nigga's ass. She
front of everybody.
whooped his ass. She gave us a speech and whooped his ass in front of the whole class.
Damn.
It was like,
That's why you remember his name.
yes, bro. I don't even remember. I barely remember what grade I was in, but I remember that nigga. And I was just like, damn, like, bro.
Wow.
I bet, bro, and he was perfect. He was perfect the rest of the school year. You didn't hear shit from him. And that boy was so embarrassed. I was embarrassed for him. I'm like, damn, bro. I thought my mom was hardcore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but you can tell if his mom wasn't in his life like that,
Yeah.
he probably would have grown up to be a little nigga, man.
Yep.
You see? So really, all of these YNs, you know, that they got free-forming dreads and, you know, talking about, you know, being in gangs and toting guns and all that shit.
Yeah.
They just need their asses whooped, man.
That's it.
But they didn't. But it's too late for them, because it says, Scripture says, train up a child in the way that he should go. All right, when he is young. Okay, but guess what? If he ain't getting right after a certain amount of time, what does the law say? You gotta put that little nigga to death.
That little nigga to death. We had a thing coming up when my grandfather used to say, look, what you don't want to learn from us, the streets are going to teach you.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much the bottom line, because once you go out here and look, especially as a Jake, we in captivity behind enemy lines, bro. Okay, we are literally in captivity. So if you don't want to listen to, you know, or receive correction and reproof, this world out here, these streets out here, it's going to, hey,
You're gonna get
put to death.
right.
You see that on the daily with Jake out here now, man.
Yep.
Okay, good. What was the other one that I
Yeah,
saw
so
for
Mark,
the beginning?
Acts,
Let's get that one, man. Mark.
it was Mark 8 and
31.
31. The water.
I got that.
You got it? Okay,
Yeah,
I
I
got
got
the Acts 9 and 11.
No, we don't need that one.
You don't need that. Okay.
Oh, wait, Acts 9. Go ahead, read.
Acts 9. You wanted Acts 9.
Yeah, Acts 9, 11 through 16, you said.
I got the Mark 8.
Yeah.
This is Mark chapter 8 and verse 31. It says, and he began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected of the elders and of the chief priests and scribes and be killed, and after 3 days rise again.
See that? So Yahawashai went through it. Yahawashai suffered it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, hey, why we can't do it, man? Why can't we suffer for something? Why can't we stand for something? Because guess what, Esau, what you gonna stand for in the world? Esau didn't teach you to stand for nothing.
Right.
You get black culture. I'm gonna die by my respect. All that bullshit.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Which that ain't nothing but pride. Because Yahawashi, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He put his pride to the side, man.
Yeah.
You see? The scriptures talk about how Yahawashi despised the shame of being up on the cross. but he took it. Okay? So now that we have him as our role model, the scriptures talk about that in Hebrews. You know what I'm saying? How he's, you know, the perfect example. Like, what pride can we really have?
Right.
We can't be so entitled and high-minded to think that we're on a higher level than Yahawashi. And since he suffered for us, we got to be willing to go through the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's right, bro.
Greater love, this is in St. John the 15th chapter. Greater love have no man than this, that he laid down his life for his friends. Right? So since Yahawashi did that, that means that what? He loves us, man.
That's right.
Okay, so we gotta we gotta be willing to return the favor.
Yeah.
Because who's in control of all of this? Who's in control of everything? The Most High. He's seeing the obedience of Yahawashi unto death. He's seeing the obedience of the Lord's sheep. He's gonna be pleased. He's gonna be like, okay, you know what? All right, you get a pass from this destruction that's about to come. You can't forget about that. You know what I mean? Y'all got
I get something real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah, go ahead.
This is Sirach chapter 4 and verse 20. It says, observe the opportunity and beware of evil. All right? And be not ashamed when it concerneth thy soul. And the main point on that is observe the opportunity.
Yep.
You know, because brothers are going to be in situations that look crazy as hell.
Yep.
But on the flip side of that is what? It's an opportunity. And then, and if you endure to the end, that's going to be your story. That's going to be your legacy. That's what's going to be what you're telling your kids. They're going to be learning about that situation that you were in.
Yep.
Where you applied faith, all right, where you applied these scriptures, man. So it's an opportunity. It's not just, the straight gate ain't just, the Lord just want to whoop your ass and, all right, that's it. The Lord just want to whoop your ass. No, the Lord's giving you an opportunity, man, to prove your faith.
If I may add to just on top of that, you know, scriptures also talks about being put through that flame, that fire, man, because we, you know, Yahawashi was numbered among the transgressors, man, and he was perfect, absolutely perfect. Like the priest said, he created everything we see out here, including us, and he went on the cross and died, man. All right, showing that ultimate love, man. Okay, so in understanding that, man, and understanding that, you know. Who are we to, you know, who are we to have to feel any type of weight, man, ultimately, okay? Because in doing so, like the precept I brought out earlier, you know, we're coming into a point where the kingdom is getting ready to be established, okay? Where the Lord has got his elect men out here who are going to govern the world in righteousness, not only the world, but the universe, man. Right, but that's not going to be something that's going to be given ultimately. Yahawashi, it wasn't just given unto him. So how much more even us? You know, just to land back on what you were saying, Priest, and you really got to really think about that and what does that mean to you? The average nigga, that doesn't move them. They have no delight in that thought because these niggas out here, they're natural men. You know, what you got?
It's a beautiful thing the way the Lord set it up.
Man,
you compare it to let's say democracy, for example, right? You allegedly, right? You elect. You know, representatives, you elect politicians that, you know, are, you know, you vote for, right? We know that that's bullshit anyway. Right? But just for argument's sake, right? But you don't know, these politicians, you don't know them. They ain't done, what have they done?
Right.
You know, but on the flip side, with the establishment of the kingdom, all the governing body of Yahawashi, they're all going to be proven. It's not going to be you got to worry about the track record, all right, of this guy and this guy, right? No, they're all going to be proven.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Just want to make that point.
Yep. I guess we can get the last couple ones or whatever you finish off. You finish off on that mark, right?
On that. And did you want to go down to 33 or was it just 31 on that?
I mean, that was the point in verse 31.
Okay, come.
You know what I'm saying? And then I wanted to get that in Acts.
Yep, I got it.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
all right, this is Acts 9, starting at 11. And the Lord said,
This is right after.
Yeah.
This is after Paul. The Lord, you know, Yahawashi, I'll say, revealed himself to Paul. This is after Yahawashi revealed himself to Paul on the road to Damascus, right? Go ahead.
He says, the Lord said unto him, arise and go into the streets, which is called Straight, and inquire in the house of Judas of one called Saul of Tarsus.
good.
For behold, he prayeth, and he hath seen in a vision a man named Ananias coming in.
What verse?
He's 12.
Okay, go ahead.
And
Yeah,
put-
because Ananias, he was a believer that was in Damascus, right? And you know, after a certain period of time, you know, word was spreading in various parts, you know, of that area, which Damascus ain't far at all. It's not that far from Samaria. It's really just kind of up north a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got Judea, then you got Samaria, then you have Damascus. You know, that area up there in the north, right? So go ahead.
It says, and has seen a vision of a man named Ananias coming in and putting his hand on him, that he might receive his sight. Then Ananias answered, Lord, I have heard many of this man.
That was the point I was going to start at, but that's fine. Let's start there.
Okay.
Yeah, because basically Ananias was getting word from the Spirit of the Lord that, hey, like there's this individual coming in. His name is, at the time his name was Saul. He was known as Saul, you know, and you know, the Lord had changed his name to Paul, right? But the Lord's, you know, basically letting Ananias know, hey, this man, he's gonna come in and you're gonna put your hand on him and you're gonna restore his sight. But Ananias was like, well, damn, this is the same one that was persecuting the believers, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So shouldn't we be like, I thought he was an enemy, you know what I'm saying? You know?
Yeah.
That was Ananias' response, right? Go ahead.
Ananias answered, O Lord, I have heard of many of this man, and how much evil he has done to thy saints in Jerusalem. And here he has the authority from a chief priest to bind all and call on thy name. But the Lord said unto him, Go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me.
Yeah. You see? So the Lord was like, listen, you know what I'm saying? He has power over he didn't misspeak. You know what I'm saying? He said he's a chosen vessel. You know? And as long as we believe that the Spirit of YAHAWASHI is on us, I ain't gonna lie. It is disrespectful to ride around with your windows down.
No one, like everyone, we all gotta hear that bullshit.
You know what I'm saying? It literally is. Because like even if I'm at the stoplight and I got my music playing and my windows are down, I'm just gonna roll my windows up off of the fact that like, okay, I don't want the next person to have to block out my music because my windows down. I'm that one guy with my windows down.
Right.
You roll your fucking one. You can roll them down when you roll them by.
Yeah.
I guess, you know, it's not as bad, but
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I've been guilty of that, but even then, still, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, if you see brothers out here, literally camera out here, and you just, it's just some disrespectful shit.
It could be anything going on too.
Yeah.
It could be a cop trying to hear a dispatch call. It could be
Anything,
Yeah.
ambulance.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So it goes on and says, and here he has authority from the chief priest to bind all that call on thy name. But
Yeah.
the Lord said,
Ananias was like, look, he got authority to incarcerate anybody that is calling on YAHAWASHI. Why would he be deemed as an ally? Right? But go ahead.
and the Lord said unto him, Go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me, to bear my name before the Gentiles and the kings and the children of Israel.
See that? So the Lord can call and set up whoever he wants.
That's right.
Right? Go ahead.
It says, For I will show him now great things
That's
he
verse
must
16,
suffer.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the point. Go ahead.
For I will show him great things that he must suffer for my name's sake. My
See that?
name's sake.
Yeah, I will show him the great things that he must suffer. So guess what? We all gonna suffer. We all gonna go through stuff. Okay, but was YAHAWASHI, was the relationship that Paul had with YAHAWASHI not increased through those sufferings?
Of course.
Same thing with our sufferings. our sufferings should increase our relationship with YAHAWASHI, right? And so that's what you got to be able to understand in the spirit, be mature, and understand, look, man, I'm getting chastised, but it's for an end. It's for a purpose, okay? And that purpose is salvation, all right? And if that's not your top priority in life, you got your priorities screwed up.
If I may add, bro, it's like, and also that's a faith builder. Because when you come into this thing, you come into the scriptures, you understand how YAHAWASHI works, okay, and how he moves. You know, that's a great indicator that the Lord is dealing with you, man. And I remember, you know, being in the world, man, and, you know, I had certain friends or lady friends, man, and I used to be catching, you know, hell here and there, but these people do all kind of shit, just wasn't nothing happening to them. You got to the point like, man, goddamn, you know, it wasn't until I came into the sanctuary to understand, okay, wow, this is how much more so, like you brought out, prepare thy soul for temptation when we come to serve the Lord. Why? Because the Lord ultimately is testing you. Okay, you're not gonna be able to sit at a king's table without being tested.
So that was it. Did y'all have any other points y'all want to? Hey man, hey, so just stay in that mindset whenever you're suffering, all right? As long as you believe in YAHAWASHI, hey man, put that frustration and put all that burden on the Lord. Let that be, you know, take that yoke of YAHAWASHI upon you.
That's right, bro.
Okay?
That's right.
And carry it, man.
That's right.
All right? So, hey, Lord willing, that was edifying. With that, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh,
Yahawah,
Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rakakwadash.
Double honors to the apostles and others, the great millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom.
Shalom.